let's discard those changes because that was horrible. From what I understand, it will be in the future that you will be able to get certain parts that for the cars that you could technically tune those cars with those parts, right? So right now we're getting like a very basic car customization, right? Let's go, for example, to BMW. Uh, in this, compared to all the other cars, doesn't really drive that nice. I would expect that Porsche Cup to be a lot more nice and rewarding to drive, and there's other cars that are an absolute blast to drive compared to that Cup car, and that Cup car feels a little be online for your garage, because there would be actual, like they call it, a game economy and game progression, where you would buy cars and they would be your own cars, so they would be connected with your online profile, because then you can use those cars in an online mode, right? And you could have your own cars that are customized, and you can further have and buy and tune those cars with some of those tuning parts that they fucking hell. I mean, right now it's what is in the game is great. Definitely not uh, on a small uprise that every single other sim is, right? And comparatively, ACC is either level or is losing ever so slightly, bit by bit players. But I mean, it's still doing fine. It's still basically at the same level as often, but there isn't uh, any particular climb or growth with the content it has and with the content release it got. Like, it got Nordschleife, but that brought players in briefly, and that's it. And then it went back to normal. None of those players really stayed, right? Which is not a good sign. But let's look into the future rather, into at the past. That's just where ACC ended up. For when it was decimed to be at, ACC was great, but at some point Kunos just had to change their focus to the future, and that's what they did. So I'm excited for the future rather than just thinking what Sim ACC could have been if they fully kept on developing for years and years and years, you know. Okay, cup car. What is the customization in a cup car? Okay, what do we have in a GR86? Let me check the other versions of the car. If I just pick the base trim, yeah, premium. Oh yeah, wait. And what's the? Because that other um like trim of it, the Treno trim. Hakone edition. It has, I see already different special paint. But what else is different in it? Are menus really that bad? I mean, I think they are sometimes a bit slow, and it's like it would be nice for this transition not to be there. Like it would be nice to just be able to go into customization. I'm already in a garage. There doesn't need to be another specific garage of customization, right? But I don't think the UI itself is that bad. I mean, you could spend a lot of time in this car. Because there's basically an entire Ferrari configurator right here in Assetto Corsa Evo for Ferrari 296. If you want to configure your Ferrari 296, do not bother with online configurator of Ferrari because it's laggy. Mechanic. What are gonna be different options for the one that has Assetto Fiorano package? Okay. Look, there is a lot. We noticed. But let's drive some of those cars. A lot of discussions about how M4 drives. So let's drive it. No, I picked customize rather than... You know, what I would want is like, apart from selecting a car, now being able to just... different thing. If you press drive, single player, and then here you select a car, you have to go into garage, then pick the car, pick the trim. And now I would like to just have an option like of select, or just be able to press one button or whatever, and it will already go back to this menu, right? This is a bit annoying. Or for example, if I would just click on that car here, it would already go back to that menu, right? But like I said, like, the base is there, it just needs to be polished and make sure that every single interaction is how it's supposed to be, and it's easy and intuitive, right? But it has to be done on every single interaction basis. But the core UI and how it works isn't bad. It's actually quite clear, and you can see where is what. And like, I went into the game, and sure, some of it I understand works a bit clunky and slow, and sometimes you could get rid of the menu and skip one step, right? But that can be fixed. The UI itself is quite good. Yeah, let's drive some. Let's drive some. But this is car with automatic gearbox, so I need to put the, unfortunately, Formula wheel. I was looking in the morning at some of the like button plates I could get, so I could get another round wheel that I could put a button plate on it, and yeah, and have a round wheel with paddles that I could drive, for example, a car like that. Because right now I could either drive a Formula style steering wheel with paddles, or I can drive a round wheel, but then I don't have any buttons or any paddles, I only have a shifter, which is cool for driving like an MX-5 Cup with a manual, or S2K, or any road car with a manual gearbox. But something like this, I need a solution. Okay, I'm gonna also limit FPS to 120, because I remember there were some people complaining that they had issues while streaming when the FPS is not capped. So I'm just gonna do it before I'm getting 120 easily anyway. Okay, I know that tires right now seem super fucking grippy, so let me try driving it. We'll go up from the hypercar tires that are right now grippy as fuck. Let's go back all the way to road tires, and then maybe try supercar tires, and see how the car handles that. So that more of a normal tire that potentially could be put on a car like that. Maybe it would be a supercar tire, but again, this is a CSL, but a standard M4 could be on something like a road tire. Let's just go with whatever the stock setting is for the car and have some fun. Also, I am already playing it in a way that I had ACC set up, that in the wheel settings menu I have the steering lock set to 0, and then in Simucube profile I change the steering range for every single car. That way I get a soft steering lock at the end of rotation. So whenever I drift and the wheel turns all the way to the steering lock, it doesn't keep on turning past that, applying tons of force I also turned the wheel myself so much that I just unplugged the cube control from USB. Bravo me. Okay. So this car appears to have like 900 degrees, so it's not a big issue for a car like that has a lot of degrees of rotation, right? But for example, for a cup car that has 540, you know, if you have the wheel set to 900, if you have it set to 900, but the car has only 540, so it would rotate to this amount, then rather than wheel stopping at the soft lock, you already went all the way to the lock, but then the wheel your physical wheel would keep on turning and pulling with maximum force feedback all the way to 900, even though the car only has 540, right? The wheel rotation is exactly the same as an ACC, so you can set it to 900, you can set it to 900 to give you the same effect. You can set it to per car basis, like for a cup car, 540 in game, 540 in... I mean, why would they change it? What needs changed about it? Like, each car has different rotation, so you either set it to 900 and it's set for everything, but there's no soft lock. If you want soft lock, you just need to know what the particular car rotation is and change it per car basis. I mean, I guess the ultimate solution would be to just implement soft lock, then we're all happy, right? Because it's all about just getting the soft lock to be there at the rotation you want it to be. That's it. Enough babbling. Let's go on the track. You can feel that this car is really heavy and it moves around on its suspension a lot. Also, like we were told, the proper... Holy shit, there's no grip already on that road tire because the car is so heavy. I mean, I just went to the corner really hard. The simulation for the temperature isn't fully implemented yet, so you can see on the widget that the tires are heating up, right? So it's not like they are all constantly the same temperature, but the effect that temperature would have on a tire isn't properly having an effect, right? Oh no, VR is working. It's just that with all the car customization stuff, I just wanted to drive a bit on the screen because it's easier in a title like that. I could jump into VR as well, but let's just drive like that. Yep, that's the moment where you would want your round wheel. Well, I have a 4090, so I don't have troubles of running it in VR, but I have a NASA PC, as some call it, so I don't have those type of issues, fortunately. But and you know, I'm only running on Oculus CV1. That's quite a low resolution headset, so I don't have any troubles. This car is so heavy, and you can feel it when you're actually trying to push it. I really like how you can feel how, for example, in this car, the gearbox is just a torque converter, and you can feel how that's simulated. The shifts are a bit slower and they're a bit junky. When there's a downshift, you can definitely feel how it's having a bit more trouble with getting the revs to be properly matched on a downshift. And it puts the car, the upshifts are slower. There's so much nuanced car movement that's happening, not only with the slides, but just nuanced car movement. For example, like that, I went on over a bump, and you could feel how the car, how the car itself doesn't really react to the bump, but the tire does. The sidewall of the tire does, and the car is so heavy, it flexes the tire a lot, especially a road tire. A supercar tire or a hypercar tire especially, they would have a lot stiffer sidewall. So there you will feel that the car not only has more grip, but is reacting to all the inputs so much more immediate, because the sidewall of the tire is so much stiffer. So the response doesn't only come from the grippiness of the tire, but also from the stiffness of the sidewall and entire construction of the tire. And you can feel that in this game. It's amazing. And I hope whatever I'm saying is correct, because it's definitely what I'm feeling, and it's definitely what is supposed to be happening. So if I'm feeling it, I guess they implemented it, because holy fuck, there's so much nuanced movement, and you can definitely feel that road tires just move like that, and they move a lot more than a supercar tire or a slick, and that's great. It's not only just, you know, different grip level, it's a completely different tire that you're driving at, which is really impressive. Is that over? Oh, I would love to have a round wheel, because then, for example, I could make like a full transition then from one drift to another, but I'm just scared of catching the formula rim, and I'm playing with quite heavy force wheel. Maybe I should turn it down a bit. No, the servers are not. What do you need servers for? For now, it's a single player game with no online. You don't need any servers. Just play the bloody game. I mean, I guess one could do license an academy, but I'm not really. Okay, I can see how that could be intriguing and one would like to play it, but I think it's gonna be quite simplistic. So it's not the feature that I'm looking forward to, right? But I'm more of a driving nerd, so I'm more intrigued in how the car itself drives than how I'm interacting with the game itself, until it's gonna be, you know, a fully fleshed out experience that they're gonna provide. And yeah, I'm gonna do it, but if it's just simple driving academy and just the basics of it, it's not really a feature I'm gonna be playing for right now, right? But when the open world comes, then sure. But for now, it being just a single player experience, just pick a car you wanna drive, pick a truck you wanna drive, and get out there and do it. Have some fun. Especially, I can definitely feel the car is so heavy, and there is that moment of when you load up the car heavily in one direction and then you would like to turn the other direction. It takes so much time for entire weight transfer, and it takes so much time for tires and suspension to control that body movement on of a very, very heavy car that's on top of that those tires and suspension. And that's exactly the feeling I was getting when I drove the M440i. Obviously this is M4 CSL, so it should be a bit more capable. But we have it right now on road tires, so with a very soft sidewall. And it's still a very heavy car. No matter how much suspension trickery an M4 has over M440i. And I'm just so impressed with how much detailed body movements of the car you can feel in this. I heard, and I understand what people mean by that, that this game's force feedback seems to be a bit more muted, but I think that's just a product of there being more information. But it's just that, you know, more information is not gonna be necessarily just the steering wheel moving more, because your steering wheel moving more would mean that the car is moving more. But what's happening is the car itself isn't moving more in terms of the amount, it's just that it's moving within a similar range, but within that range you have way more subtle movements that are in that are basically overlapping each other, and in that way some of the effects are killing off some of the other effects and muting them, right? But what I'm feeling, and maybe partially it's because I am aware of those stuff happening and what I am trying to feel, apart from very basic oversteer, understeer, there's so much more supple car movements and little tire movement and flexes and little stuff that car is doing that you can just feel in the force field that's right there. But obviously it all goes together, and you know, steering wheel only rotates in one axis, left or right, so to convey all of those little movements in a simple motion of a wheel left to right, you know, the more you have little small forces overlapping each other, they're gonna mute each other in little ways. But if you know what you're looking for, then there's so much more information to be gotten out of this. And it's not like I can't feel the understeer. It's a bit less pronounced because, well, the understeer effect in the wheel isn't as pronounced really in real car either way. But also all those other informations are also important for understanding what is happening with the wheel. Oh, really? I'll test it out in a bit. I'll test it out, Octavian, because I have it at 0. Driving this is just so much fun. And like I said, if the tire temperature simulation isn't properly implemented yet, that as you can see right now, a road tire with a heavy car being pushed really hard, you can see how much the surface temps are just going up and down because they're just being overwhelmed by the workload that is asked out of them. So the temperature changes are happening there, but those temperature changes don't have necessarily effect yet on the grip generation of the tire, right? But then when they will have that, driving on road tire in a heavy car like that especially will have again different effects, because suddenly the surface temperature of the tire will influence the grip generation of that specific tire in that specific scenario. So for example, drift like that will quickly heat up the tire, and it will probably keep on progressing further and further and further, because the surface temperatures are just going through the roof mid-slide, and the tire will just give up. So I don't know if it's just this particular game. Woo. Oh, it looks so good. Look at it. It looks so good, the rear end of that car with the lights, graphics wise. It looks glorious. With a little bit of reshade added on it. It looks really nice. I just spent quite a bit of time talking about FFB. So you want to listen about FFB? Rewind like 5 minutes. Let me check that force feedback with different steering filter, like you say, Octavian. If it's reversed. Just, I mean, I'm not talking necessarily about the jump over the curb of first Degner. Look at the supple car movement after it, as it settles, and here as it climbs the curb. If I do climb the curb, and then as I go onto the brake, there's so much movement happening with the car, and you can feel all of that. Here, I go over the curb, and it moves around, and I go on the brakes, and I load it up a bit on the front left, and it moves so much. There's so many supple movements of the car that you can feel throughout this corner as you go in, load up the left side, and then start braking. And you can see how much mass there is in that car, and there's constantly being a lot of mass being transferred left to right. You can just visually see the car is fucking heavy, and when it's at the limit, it's just very difficult to control that mass. And that's exactly what I felt when I drove one. Okay, so you say, Octavian, that also I found a bug. After you go into the replay and you had a car with lights turned on, then they turn off, but if you don't turn it back on, it just bugs out. Now you can see if I'm pressing the button, they just kind of blink, but they're off, which is annoying. If I press flashing, they do flash, but they don't work. Okay, let's test the theory. Steering filter, you say full. Also, I didn't finish because someone asked me what were my settings. So those are my settings, and then my Simucube is said that I actually don't have my Simucube turned up all the way to 17 Newton meters. I have all the filters in Simucube off, but I have a Simucube put right now on 7.7 Newton meters, but a lot more gain in game, and that seems to be working well for me in a way that it doesn't spike as hard. For example, when I'm drifting right now, I don't want the wheel when I'm in a mid drift suddenly to pull at 17 Newton meters to one side because, you know, I'm in the middle of the drift. So let me see if I apply it steering filter at 100, if I'm gonna notice that the steering wheel is less filtered. I'm gonna still keep it on the road tires, then we're gonna maybe drive a car a bit on supercar tires, and I can show you how genuinely... Oh yeah, holy shit. Yeah, I will drive a bit more, but I think that could be genuinely the case, that the steering filter let me make sure that I'm not feeling things because I want to feel things, but I think you could be right. Which would be a massive fucking fuck up, because like everyone would just put it to 0 and never think about it, right? I saw your settings earlier on Discord, right? And I was kinda confused. I never even touched it because I was happy with mine. Just to be sure. Although it could be a different thing, Octavian, that this is a non-filtered, like you never know what the filter is. This could be the non-filtered FFB, and it could be that 100 is not a filter that smoothens things out, but a filter that does a similar job of like what was it called? Like an understeer enhance setting in original AC, that it makes basically all the effects pop up. It wasn't like a can effect on top of everything. It was just like a filter that was making the FFB be more pronounced. And it's just that, again, UI naming and lack of explanation strikes again. A Kunos classic. But it does genuinely feel a bit less filtered, so... Or at least whenever it's set higher, it gives you off the impression that it is less filtered and less dampened. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, there is more of that graininess. Like, for example, this slide I don't think you should be able to continue that slide though, like for so long. I think that the tire should give up. But again, with that temperature simulation not being properly implemented yet, I think that with the tire temperature affecting the tire's grip properly, that slide would just suddenly mid-slide because of surface temperatures. It would start progressing further and further, faster and faster. While right here, you know, the pressure went up ever so slightly, right? But that's because of core temperature. But the surface temperature and tire's grip weren't really affected by the slide, mid-slide, right? And especially with a road tire, I mean, that's like they overheat so much. It's so easy to overheat a road tire, and it loses the performance straight away. Oh shit. It's very easy to outbrake yourself in that car. It just keeps on pushing low speed. The low speed is very poor in this. It's also mainly because at high speed it turns by just pushing the rear tires power wise on all the way to the limit. So it just rotates it. Let me see what, you know what, let me go to the end of the lap more cleanly, and let me see what kind of lap time I can get out of the road tire, and then we'll switch to supercar tire, and let's see what kind of pace difference we're gonna have on both. Wow, beautiful understeer. But let's see what pace difference we're gonna have on both, and also feeling difference, because like I said, this tire moves around a lot, but it's not only grip wise, you can feel the sidewall is soft. Yay! Oh shit, the car is just so heavy. You see, I felt like I broke way too early, but it just kept on pushing with the front. It's so heavy, the car. Okay, so it's like a 15. You can definitely improve a full second on that, right? But we'll get a ballpark. Ooh. Whoa. Hello? Why is my steering turning while I'm stopped? Is it only in this particular spot? Is it because the truck is like cambered? What is wrong with it? So let me put the that filter off, but then I'm gonna put damping like a few percent, like 3% of damping in the in Simucube profiler, and then a reconstruction filter to 4. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's change again back to supercar tires. And let's see the difference. I don't see the link on my chat, so I don't know if the link works. Also, lights are also working again. Okay, same default pressures. Straight away. The very first time I turned the wheel, the car responded so much more immediately. It responds so quicker to my inputs, and it's not only because it's so much more grippy. The car just takes way less time to settle into this, to settle on its tire, because the sidewall is moving way less. So the connection between what I'm doing with the steering and what the grip of the car and the contact patch actually is doing is way more direct. Way easier time putting down the power. I have way easier time on staying flat here, and it just has the grip to keep here flat almost as well. Now the difference seems truly quite a lot. You can still feel that it's the same car, and it's there's still very heavy car that moves around on the tire, but this tire supports the car so much better. There is still a lot of mass moving around, and you just can't get by that fact. There's a lot of grip that supports and that enables still a lot of that car to be turned around, right? But you can still feel that the tire is fighting it, even though it is being able to do a better job of it. And you can also see how the tire throughout the corners is heating up a lot less. So it's being it's either heating up less because it's moving so much less, or it's also that its window of operation is just different. So either way, it's being able to sustain a lot more load that's being put on it, and those are really heavy workloads with a heavy car on a road tire. Because this is still a road tire, it's just a high performance one. And when you just outbrake yourself and go into ABS, no rotation and no braking. The car becomes so much more capable on this tire. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, Octavian, if the slip angles for those tires wouldn't even be that dissimilar. I think the slip itself, the slip value itself, is quite similar, but it's how it gets to that slip is different because of all the flexing of the tire. So it can actually get to the same actual slip. Oh shit. I mean, you can see we were in 15s. Here I probably did some mistake. It's a 13 straight away. So then if you would put the another difference of, you know, the other tire, this tire also being affected thermally in some way, like here the front end, I mean, it's just getting absolute workout the outside edge of the tire through a corner like that. Right, but the road tire, the standard road tire, even more so. So the difference there, I think, would be even bigger. Also, I noticed that sometimes this game is weird like that, that the more I drive, the less FPS I have. Or maybe it was just right there out of that hairpin and I was just saying shit because it's back to 100 FPS. But I think it should have been more. No, the fuel doesn't go down. There's no fuel burn. It seems like there's no tire wear. Like you can damage your tire in terms of like flat spots, but the wear itself is it doesn't seem to be there. Like I said, it seems like the temperature of the tire isn't fully simulated yet. What is the optimum PSI? I think it depends on the different tires. I have no idea yet. Oh shit. Oh no. It seems that okay, I can put it in third gear and then it doesn't do that launch control stuff, so then I can do a donut. Right. If I had a round wheel, I would, but I don't have a round wheel. So I can only do some power slides, but not actual drifting. Okay, someone said Cosworth at Brands Hatch. You know what? Why not? So maybe we can have a bit of fun with a cozy and a round wheel and a lifter, because I love that in this game. update. What options do we have for cozy only color? Okay. That looks fire. Wait, was there interior customization I missed? No. Yeah, that's it. Let's go. Everything default, yeah? Just road tires, everything default. Whoa. I want to see the road. That sound was amazing. Okay, what's the rotation on that thing? It seems like it's a bit lower. Let me quickly change that. Even lower, 830. Close enough. Bear in mind, I'm driving on the screen on 16:9, not even ultra wide, so I can barely see shit. And I barely even touched brands in this game actually. Excuse is already out. It's calculated FOV. Okay? Don't complain. It's mathematically correct. Therefore, it's correct. Oh shit. Okay. Whoa! That was interesting. I mean, look, I understand that it looks scuffed, but it looks scuffed because I'm used to driving in VR, so everything for me is real size. If I'm used to seeing stuff in real size, and I want to see them in real size on the screen as well. So this feels most naturally to me if I drive on the calculator for V. And on a small screen, on a small window, that's just how it looks. So I have very little peripheral vision, but everything that I see in front of me is the same size as if I would see it in VR. So I need to learn how to drive this thing. Is that the way how you drive this thing? That was a terrible shift. Probably maybe lower than 30 psi could work. Oh shit. Famous last words. Oh shit. So maybe should I short shift it because it's a turbo? Shit. Whoa, okay. I think my game crashed. Oh no, it didn't. No, it did. Yes, it did. It's like it did crash, but it didn't. But it did. Just hang on, we'll be right back. Sorry for those technical difficulties. It's the first time it crashed. It is the first time it actually crashed. Okay, we should be back. Oh shit, okay. Let's try that again. little handbrake, why not? I guess it's those poles that make it jump like that. There's only one way of finding the limit, which is finding the limit. We found the limit. Track limit. And that was the problem. We went beyond it. Where the track doesn't exist anymore. Okay, I need a valid lap at least to then use the delta to help me understand what's fast or not. Okay, that's within limits. Maybe I should just keep it in third there. Get rid of those bollards. Oh! One of them got stuck under the car. Throw those bollards too. Understeer. Oh no! Okay, that is the track limit. Well, it was good corner. T4 at least. Killed off too much speed here. Same here. Oh, actually not that bad. Okay, it will be like 44.5. Oh fuck. Just understeered like a pig. What? Are there eco tires in this? I mean, you know, I know how to drive a car, so I don't break 100%. What? An ACC player doesn't break 100%. Breaking news. Haha, you see what I did there? I don't even know how I break. I mean, I would have to rewatch my own stream to see how I was breaking, but you know. And there was like, for sure you can do a 33. Like a 43 is there, no question. And I mean, if we're if we want to try hard, then first of all, front tire all the way to max camber at least. This side tires, they were probably getting, I wasn't looking at pressures, but for sure they were getting a workout. And that's basically all that we can change, but maybe even add more front toe. You know, let me see again. I mean, you could try supercar tire, but wait, it has vintage tires. Oh, okay. So now I just did camper, and now I want to test vintage tires. Oh, that's the first time. Okay. Oh, they move so much, they're so numb, they are vintage. What tires are those actually? Like if I look at the actual tire, what is that? It's like a Michelin, but it is some kind of an old Michelin, isn't it? Michelin Harmony. I mean, it's not a specifically simulation of a Michelin Harmony tire, right? But I noticed that it is what they do, that there is a generic vintage tire model, right? But for different cars, visually, they also change like different tires. So if I would go to eco tires, what are gonna be eco tires in this particular case, just for the sake of visuals, right? It's quite dark in here, so I need to get out of the shade. Can you see it now? Yeah. So those would be Toyo's proxies probably. Yeah, Toyo proxies CF2. And then if I go to the, so that was Eco. I think Road Tire is also that. And then you're saying that Supercar Tire doesn't work? It doesn't work. But in an S2000, if you put Supercar Tire on, for example, that puts it on Toyo Proxys R888R, which looks amazing on that car. But it's understandable that probably Supercar Tire shouldn't even be in that setup menu. It's more about that probably that car shouldn't even have that tire. Okay, let me drive on that vintage tire properly, rather than only nerding out about freaking visuals of this and attention to detail. That is greatly what is the word? I'm happy that it's there. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, I mean, in that car there's not much setup shenanigans that I can do. Like I did already up the camber on the front, but that's all I can do really. But let's see, just time-wise, what vintage tires can do. Because this is the first time that I'm driving on such tires. Oh my god, the car moves in such a different way as well. And there's so much more leeway, and just the tire allows for so much more, because it's first of all way less lower grip, but it's also so much more progressive in its work. But it's also because the tire has like almost very little like stability. Like modern tire is very grippy, and then you have to push to make it slip, right? And sometimes a vintage tire is just gonna slip, and then it slip more, and suddenly you lose the car. It's like it doesn't give the car stability. I don't know. I mean, straight away my feeling is that like I just have to take it easier because there's no grip, and you can see that I use straight away 310s. I mean, the tire just has way less grip. To be fair, I was expecting it to have even less grip than that, but it depends again what sort of reference they're going for. Because it is a vintage tire, but it's a vintage tire on an Escort Cosworth. Like, it's not gonna be as shit as a tire on a car from 80s or 60s, right? It's still Escort Cosworth. And it still has 4-wheel drive. So it just grips. Okay, sorry. Let me get back to the chat because I saw some questions. What car particularly are you talking about, Peter? Because the cars are really grippy, and it could be one reason why you feel that way. Because, for example, certain cars are by default on like a hypercar or a supercar tire. So, oh my god, no, that voice crack. Oh my god, that did not just happen. Okay, so GR86, GR86 by default is on road tires, but you can put it on eco tires. Yeah, but that voice crack was so fucking loud. It's from all the coughing. Shut up! Shut up! It probably went past the frequency the mic can even pick up. You didn't even hear it. You didn't even hear it in its full glory. Okay, so I didn't drift alpha much, but that is a reason to do it. So let's see what. And it drove as well as M3. Anyway, let's get to Suzuka. Because from all the tracks that we have, that's a pretty good track to drift at. Let's go again for different time of day, because why not? Just to show off how the game looks. And again, I need to go back to the Formula style steering wheel. So it's not gonna be optimum, because with the round wheel I would have it even better time. But if you want to drift in this, you really have to work with it, you know? Anyway, transmission is slow as fuck because it's a torque converter. So we can lower rear toe for a bit less stability from the tire. We can up more front camber, maybe rear camber as well, but not too much. So there is gonna be two ways. You can even lower the rear pressures a lot, or you can higher rear pressures a lot, so they have a lot less grip. So let's bump them up to 36 psi, for example, which is still not crazy for a road tire, but then as it heats up and builds up even more pressure, then it's gonna be really inflated a lot. And by default it's on a supercar tire, which is a very, very grippy tire. So let's put it back on a road tire. And see how it goes. And again, what's the steering rotation for this car? Oh, snap, it's almost perfect already. It's very similar. I'm just gonna leave it. And it comes back to life. Yeah, Normal Giulia would be nice. Giulia with a manual quadrifoglio would be nice. Okay, so let's see what I can do. It's really grippy. Okay, maybe 4th gear is a bit too much. I mean, if I had round wheel, I would probably be willing to go for higher slip angles, but I don't have a round wheel, so I'm keeping it within the small angles that I can catch on a Formula wheel. It's hard on a Formula wheel. But, I mean, the cars do slide. And I saw a lot of videos. Giulia has a lot of grip. I see, like, in Giulia it's... Oh, that sun looks so nice. If only I had a round freaking wheel. Oh, I need to buy one. After this stream, I am gonna order one. You know, I am gonna... as much as I would love to drive this car, but I need a round wheel for driving like that. So, with this I'm gonna stop... attempting at what I can't really do because I don't have a round wheel. So let's go to a GT80, not G8, a GR86, because that's the car that that's the car that is really easy to do it with. Go back to round wheel. So again, I quickly need to put the round one on. Bam. And here, I can, for example, in this, go to Eco Tire, which is even one step below. Put camber on it, lower the tow. How much tow does this car have? 0.5 available. And just pump up the rear tires a lot, and it is on Eco Tire, and let's go. Yeah, it's in gear. And now I have a round wheel, so it should be easier for me to... And it just goes. And obviously I entered with quite a slow speed, so it would be difficult to continue that slide, and there's quite a lot of grip and low power, so I threw it too much into the corner. But it definitely slides a lot, so I'm not the best at drifting, okay? And I'm doing it on a single screen, and I'm a VR driver, so there's that as well. Have I tried all cars in this? There are some cars I haven't driven, but mostly all of them, yeah, I did try them. Yeah, overdid it. I don't have, like, mid-slide, I don't have that much feel for the car on a single screen, especially on such a small window. Like for driving normally, it's fine, but for drifting, I would have to get back into VR. But I mean, like, I think it's difficult, but totally doable. And oh shit. Did I add soft lock yet? No. But you can get it at the beginning of the stream. I was explaining how you can just do some tricks with different steering rotations for different cars, and basically you get soft lock. Just yank the e-brake and it goes. Oh shit. Perfect. All as intended. I'm not really good at drifting. Yeah, 296 is really grippy because it's on super grippy tires, so... like, look, it is too grippy, okay? Like, it is too grippy. But also, for drifting, if the temperature simulation for the tires isn't fully there yet, like, drifting creates shit tons of surface temperature, so that would help with drifting. But if right now it isn't there, then I stalled it. Then obviously that will, like for example right now the tires are really hot, but that heat isn't really translating in any real grip loss. It's just that pressures went up. Yeah, Cap 2R is ridiculous tire, but it's still too grippy considering the lap times you can do in this game on hypercar tire, which is supposed to be something like a Cap 2R. Oops. Reading chat. Because with 296, the lap times you can do on certain tracks are ridiculous on a hypercar tire. But yeah, I am not really good at drifting, so you can drift and it's doable. And if you have skill, you can do it. There's a lot of videos of people doing it online already. But yeah, on Nords it would do a crazy time. I mean, the thing is that 296 GTB, as much as people think like, oh, it's an entry-based small V6 Ferrari, it's a fucking ridiculous car. It comes on Cap 2Rs. I think it does come on Cap 2Rs or Cap 2s out of factory. You could get it with whatever is Fiorano package. I don't remember the full name, right? And it has freaking 800 horsepower. Like, it's a fast car. At Nords, it did sub 7 lap. Sport Auto did lap that car under 7 minutes. So, it's a very, very fucking capable car. But it's not as capable as here. And people say that hypercar tires in ACE have definitely too much grip. So let's go back again to a Formula wheel with paddles and get the 296 out. Assetto Fiorano package. That's the one. And let's get it at Laguna Seca, because Motor Trend did tons of testing back in the day when they were doing like competition for best drivers car, Motor Trend's best driver car of each year, and they did tons of laps in different sports cars around Laguna Seca. So for road cars, from all the tracks that we have, Laguna Seca is sort of a decent benchmark, because there's tons of road car laps. Not the most recent ones, but there are a lot of benchmarks we can look at. And I mean, let me just show you what the fuck this car can do on hypercar tire. Because I tested it earlier. I can beat a lot of like really fast supercar lap times, like McLaren 750S, 675 LT, McLaren Senna. I can beat that lap time in AC Evo with this car on road tires. So there is a lot of grip in this sim, and it shouldn't be like that, but let me show you what the fuck you can do on a hypercar tire with a default setup. Although I am gonna lower the pressure a bit, because I mean, it is a very high performance almost basically track tire, so we can put it on with lower pressures. Obviously it's mad fast on the straights because well, because it has 800 horsepower. My steering rotation is wrong. I think that car was like 640. Yeah. Yes, sounds also will be improved in many cars. And, you know, not only in cars, just overall sounds. Okay, let me go for more realistic track limits for the lap to be more representative. I mean, already that's at 25, that's ridiculous. Wait, I'm forgetting how fast this car is on the straights. I'll not use the runoff, and here as well I'll not use the runoff because I don't think when those old lap times were done, I don't think the runoff was there, so I'm not gonna use it. Same here. I should probably cut the corkscrew as well for the sake of accuracy. Also, holy fuck, the pressure is still skyrocketed to 32 because the car is just so grippy and produces so much so much load. I mean, you get the gist of it. You could do basically Koenigsegg time. Broke way too late again. How did I barely lose time? What the hell? But you get the gist of it. I mean, the car is ridiculously grippy. However, if I just put it on a road tire, it's gonna move around a lot because, like I showed at the beginning of the stream, the side was really soft and it moves around a lot. But grip-wise, at least, it would sort of start delivering the lap time you would expect it to be able to do, still faster than that, but I mean, at least it would be closer to what you would expect it to do. I did earlier 27 on a road tire. Let me show you. I think Laguna I think Laguna truck model isn't the best because some trucks look great, plus on a very low FOV everything is zoomed in so you can see the lack of detail in the distance, but this is on high settings. Is this the fastest car in ACEVO? I don't know. No, the Merc GT2 should be the fastest car. Just look already how much it was moving around on the way out of the pits. It's still too grippy, But now you can see how much it moves on a road tire compared to the hypercar tire, which is just almost like a slick. And you can see how the temperature is just going through the roof on a tire like that, because just the load and the work that's getting asked out of it is just surpassing everything that this sort of tire is designed for. So if that temperature simulation would be there, the grip would be even lower and even more compromised because of all those surface temps and eventually core temps just skyrocketing. The differential struggles to put the power down. And you can see straight away on the delta just how much time it bleeds, because it just cannot put the power down, it doesn't have the grip for it. Surprisingly, doesn't have a similar mid corner, but then it just isn't able to complete that rotation and start putting the power down, and is not able to work in both directions simultaneously. See the core of the rear right tire is already overheated. But you see what I mean? 27 on the road tire, like that's ridiculous. Oh no, I don't agree by any stretch of imagination that AC1 drives better than this. You can prefer how it feels to AC1 because it feels so easy to get to just get in and start driving straight away, because let's be honest, AC1 at its core captures how the car behaves in its very essence extremely well, and it also translates to the driver that very basic car movement extremely well as well. But this simulates so much more and makes the car movement be so much more nuanced, which AC could never get. Never. And there's so much more work to be done on this to fully get it to work, but even the mods in AC, I don't think that, like, considering that this is not even finished and not all the physics are properly working yet, and this already drives so good, none of the AC mods could ever be where this game already looks to be, with some little tweaks that will be done to it eventually, surely. Obviously it needs work. I mean, we're at version 01 of early access, which is made to get feedback and understand where sim needs to get going. So, like, come on, what do you expect? We're comparing 01 version of the game compared to 10 entire decade of polishing a really good product and modern mods that at the end of the day are modern, are not decade old, they're new mods. So and we're comparing that to a version 01 of a completely new engine, and already that version 01 is on another level of simulation detail and feel and complexity of the car movement that is able to simulate and translate to the driver. So as much as I love AC1, and believe me, I love it, this is on another level. This is so good. This needs work, because that lap time is ridiculous. Look how that car beautifully dances and moves around the tire. It doesn't slide, but it moves around on the tire, on the sidewall, on the suspension. All those bumps are influencing its behavior. Look at here on the exit, the car just moves around. Oh, that's beautiful. There's so much subtle and little detail in the car movement that comes from how the tire moves around. It's great. Like, even look here as it goes over the curb, and you can see how it just struggles to apply all that 800 horsepower for the rear wheels. And TC kicks in, it controls it, but then it just lets go and it spins up the tires in 4th gear here, and it has that little bump that it goes over. There's so much little... Is a subtlety a word? Even, but you know what I mean? There's so much little micro movement that's happening here. It looks so beautiful. Oh my god. That was at the end of my lap. Let me see, turn on again. Whoa! That little wiggle it got over the hill. here, there as well, look at it. Yeah, I mean, considering all the other stuff that is potentially coming to this, fuck me, this is gonna be amazing. Because you always need to look through the scope that this is the initial release of the early access. This isn't even initial release, this is initial early access. This is the first look of the base, the very core. Like, have you seen how version 0.1 of ACC looked like? Like, it was a different world compared to what ACC actually is like. If this is 0.1 and we know how capable Kunos is, holy shit. Different car. I want to drive more. Alpha I drove, the Alpha SUV I don't want to drive. Alpine, I didn't drive Alpine yet, maybe I could try that. Oh yeah, I said at the beginning of the stream, I kind of want to check RS3 because I heard a lot of stuff about it, but I never drove it. So let me try RS3. And I didn't drive much Brands Hatch, so let me go back to Brands Hatch. Because it was quite fun in the Escort. Can I adjust my HUD placement? I can. I can grab it and move it. It's quite great. I don't know why every single car by default has the camera pitched quite down, which is annoying. But it is what it is. What's the standard rotation on this thing? It looks like it's gonna be like 800 or 700 something. $740, not quite enough. Maybe 760. Yeah, that looks quite accurate. It has an Alcantara steering wheel. Oh yeah, that 5-cylinder sounds nice. Wrong button. I wanted to turn on the lights and I shut down the car. Okay, what tires do we have available in this? So this is supposed to be a wrong button. This is supposed to be a Haldex 4-wheel drive. And what tires do we have available for this? Road tires, supercar tires, hypercar tires. Not interested in those, just road tires. They were always saying that there were some just issues. I mean, everything is really they had a lot of issues with Unreal Engine stopping them from implementing a lot of features like that because it was like ruining everything else. I don't know, that's what I heard. So maybe that's true, maybe it isn't. There were not many cars in ACC. It's not like you were changing the cars all the time in ACC. So from that perspective, it wasn't that annoying. No. But ooh, that sounds nice. Like I said, I'm not a fan of Audis, but the powertrains in some of their RS cars are really nice. But that gearing is fucking horrible. What is that transition from second to third? The RPM drop is their generation. Again, the sounds are gonna improve because you have a great engine note, but then that's completely ruined by the burbles that are the same as in a GT4 car in ACC. But sounds are gonna change and improve. turn off that TC. Which I don't know if Audi actually allows you, like in real life, to properly turn off the TC. I don't think like in an Audi you actually can fully turn off the TC. I think there is always some level of it. Yeah, that moves around on the tires as well really nicely. Oh, the feeling of driving this is also really really nice. Also, I got damage from touching that bollard. You can really feel the differential working to really get the car to the inside of the corner. Yeah. Don't you just why the fuck do they do it? Like I understand it in a normal Juria, or I even understand it in a normal RS3, but in an RS car, like just it already goes through so many little modification and changes. It's just a simple electronic switch. There's probably like a special tuned RS handling model anyway, so they're already changing some of the programming and parts and electronic stuff in this car to, you know, distribute the power properly through four-wheel drive, and for that DC to have a sport DC setting. So why the hell not allow a full off? I don't like that in modern cars. Owning a car was always about the freedom, and in modern cars you're just, a lot of that freedom is taken away from you. It's amazing how you can genuinely feel how the four-wheel drive is actively, because it isn't like a four-wheel drive always same amount of power. It should be a electronically controlled Haldex system that decides how much power needs to go to where, and you can genuinely feel that happening underneath. That's amazing. And you can also feel how it is in a sense also flawed, because it isn't a you know, it is a reactive system. It senses something, it sends the power there, and you can feel that something happens to the car, there's an adjustment that has to be made, and the car suddenly changes its behavior. But you can feel how it's electronics that are driving the car, and you, in a way, are lacking a sense of full control over the car. This is also a thing I don't really like about modern cars with solutions like that. Like, on paper it all seems really nice and clever, and probably a very casual driver who just enjoys the car for the sound it makes and that it's powerful, and it, at a basic level, it is quite grippy and it makes you feel sporty, right? But if you would really like to push it, then you're not really in control. It's the car that's in control and you're really a passenger. If you really want a driver's car, then you really need to look for into like some older cars. But there you could see how I went on the power. It initially understeered, and then suddenly it pulled it back again. Let me go into the replay before the replay becomes too long and difficult to maneuver through. I initially went on the power, there's downhill, it understeers here, and then suddenly here, at this very moment, it pulls it in. Yes, we're also going through uphill and downhill, but there was a point where it was still understeering already after the compression. Here, it goes into the compression, it understeers still, and then suddenly it pulls it back. It's tough to visualize all of it because Brands Hatch also has so many undulations that that make the grip appear or disappear. But that's also why you can feel that system working against all of those grip changes so much. Like there, it was kind of fighting to fix that understeer that was happening on throttle. Let's see how it's gonna work if I just brute force it. What the fuck was that? It feels extremely realistic, but it's just not the type of car I would like to have. You can just see those electronics trying to get that car turned, but do you see that that huge stabilization at the end? Oh, and then the load transfer that just gets the car to like jump from left to right as it straightened it out. Oh my god. That's horrible in those active four-wheel drive, active traction control systems, because they always react, and then the quite a heavy car on a soft road suspension and soft road tire is just gonna behave like that. Whenever it grips and it's under the limits, it's all nice, but then suddenly it loses grip. All the electronic system kinda try to figure out what's happening, but ultimately they're failing because they're not doing it actively. They're always reacting, and then in result you get this very weird, uncontrolled body movement of the car that driver didn't really want. Oh, it's horrible. I know it because I drove some modern cars, some of them quite fast, some of them at the limit, and this is what you get. And I hate that in modern cars. And you don't get that in old cars. In old cars, you always are in control, and it's a lot nicer feeling. Something that I like. But it's amazing how you can feel all of it happening. Like sim wise. Again here, how it tried to put the power down and then the electronics kicked in and turned it around. Like the way you can feel all of this shit happening underneath, this is amazing. This is not the type of driving experience I enjoy, but it's so impressive that this type of driving experience can be simulated and just be there in a sim like that. None of the cars in AC or other sims are gonna behave like that, because they just don't simulate shit like this. This is amazing. It feels horrible, but because it simulates that horrible feeling, but it's realistic. It's extremely immersive. Is RS free? Let me get that car on Laguna again. Like I mentioned, Laguna is quite a decent track to compare different car So yeah, let me get that car on Laguna. And I never drove at night in this sim yet. Let's drive at night. And let's see the lap time of this thing. Let's keep everything basic. Let's just lower the pressures ever so slightly, because we already know that the defaults are quite high. And let's see what this car can do. Broom. Oh, look at the volumetrics there over that light on the gantry. So beautiful. And you can see the sky and you can see the sky, that's crazy, and you can see the stars, that's amazing. Is there a moon in this game? That's a big question. At night this game looks so good. Also, I have a reshade on, and now you can see the vignette that I applied quite pronouncedly. Cinematic look. So much power management happening, but I really wonder what kind of lap time this car can produce. It feels so realistic, this car. I mean, I'm saying it for 5th time in a row. It feels so realistic, and I love Kunos for it. But fuck me, I hate those type of cars. Because in reality, in this type of car, you just feel so disconnected from the actual driving experience. Because it's not you that's driving, it's all the electronics of the car that's driving. And the sound is actually coming from the speakers. And the sound deadening is so freaking heavy. And the car is big and heavy for what the cars used to be back in the day. So it is extremely capable on the racetrack in terms of the speed that it can produce, because at the end of the day it has power and it has the grip from modern tires, and modern tires are fucking magic. But you put old car on modern high performance tires? Oof. Could get surprised. It's being able to turn a lot more than I think it is capable of, so oh yeah, one thing they need to introduce in road cars: whenever you brake and you go into ABS, flashing lights, flashing hazards. That would be really immersive. I just got reminded about that because last time I drove a car at I was a passenger in a car at night. That is what I saw. And now I got reminded about it. That's still super fast lap time. I could get on the power a lot earlier. It's actually being able to... The powertrain is just rotating the car a lot more than I think. But you can see right there that there it tried to rotate it, but then it's not backed on it, and it just kind of panicked, and it was just... It's really weird movement because it's trying to move power around, but it doesn't really know what for. It's just trying to guess. This isn't actual Quattro, this is fake Quattro. With Haldex. If it was a real Quattro, then we would be... We would be in business, but... This I hate. Oh my god, look at that, right? I'm not on the power whatsoever, and the way just goes. Because I picked the wrong line, and then I wasn't able to go on the power for the four-wheel drive to rotate it around the corner, and it just understeered like a pig. And that will destroy the suspension. I mean, a horrible lap, but like it could do a 35? That's ridiculous. Look, a new RS3 is a highly capable car, but this should be on the road tires, so this would be like a Pilot Sport 5 tire. Not even PS5S. just normal PS5, or at least that's what I heard. And a 35, I mean, let's also try to compare it to as modern as possible road cars, because cars in recent years became so much faster than some of the old cars that we think are ridiculously fast. Like F12 LFA, those cars would be highly compromised because of the tires of the time. Like, you know, like for example, at Laguna, I remember McLaren P1's time or 918 Spider's time is like a 30 or something like that, or almost a 29 maybe. But then a lap time of 750S McLaren or a 675 LT, which should be nowhere near of something like a P1, is like 3 seconds faster than it. Like, you know, new GT3 RS, sure, new GT3 RS has tons of aero and is on those Cap 2Rs, right? But that car has only 500 horsepower. It has almost half the horsepower, and it's like 2 seconds faster. Yeah, but you know, G50 M5 is just a different type of car. It's no longer. Chris Harris did a really nice review of it recently, and I completely agree with him, because the fact is that the G90 M5, and I completely agree with him, driven the G90 5 series, was a 520DX drive, not an M5, but hey, it was that car, and it is a really good car as a car, you know. It does the job. It's spacious, everything works, it's good look. It has a nice interior. On the outside, some could argue it's horrible, some could argue it's good looking. I think with time, people are gonna be like, you know what, that actually doesn't look that bad. It's so comfortable. It's so easy to just use as a car. Nothing annoys you about it. If you want to drive it sporty, fuck no, don't even try. But as a car, it's just excellent. It just works. And a G90 M5 is just that, as a very high-powered version of it. It's very capable. It's high-powered. It's for road use, not even for driving it fast there. Not through corners, certainly. For that, maybe M3, because M3 right now is so big. Like M3 right now is what M5 used to be. M5 right now is what we never had, which would be like an M7, but it would never be really for corners, right? And it isn't now. M3 right now is what M5 used to be. If you want whatever M3 used to be, well, for that you need like a special version of an M2, like M2 Comp. So that's just where the market went, and it's a bit of a shame that it all went in that direction. But it's not that the certain cars that we just wanted disappeared, and it's just that they sort of changed their names. But they're still there in one form or another. And sometimes just under a different name. Let me see what Lotus Emira will do here. So what are the customizations for that stuff? Because there could be Yeah, I don't want a precision shift. I'm gonna precision shit. What? I'm gonna precision shift this shit myself. That's what I want to say. It's a V6. It's a V6, but the sound for it isn't fully ready yet. So it sounds kinda weird, but it's a V6. What? Let's just leave it at default settings. On a road tire. On a road tire. Although this car, I think with a sport package or whatever you order it with, it could come on Captus. But like we already know, everything in this is way too grippy, and I think road tires are just nice because they move around and the feeling of them is quite nice. So I'm just gonna drive on road tires. Back on round wheel, and let's give it a go. Wait, let me think. What sound is that? I swear I heard it somewhere in ACC. Maybe some GT2? I mean, the in-game older versions are V6. I think that there is an inline 4 version, but like, why would you not go for a supercharged V6 in a car like that? Yeah, that sound is disappointing, to say the least. Look, the sounds are gonna improve. But it drives quite nice on that road tire. I tried it earlier at Suzuka. I mean, it's tuned and set up by Jensen Button, isn't it? So... Oh yeah, IRL, this sounds really nice. IRL, if only it revved ever so slightly higher. I missed the corner because I was reading the chat. If only it revved ever so slightly higher, because like 60, 67 I think is the limiter. I don't remember. Where's the red line and where's the actual cutoff? And I don't know if it has actual like ignition cut. Wait, is it ignition cut or am I just talking bullshit? You know what I mean, like a really hard cut. no soft cut. But this with turbocharger, sorry, with supercharger, and if only it revved ever slightly higher, they sound great. With an exhaust, oh, this has to be a really good sounding car. Same as Lotus Evora. Nice Apex. But that lap time is more believable. Broke way too late and oh my god. I kind of put my feet on the pedal in a really awkward way and I couldn't press it. For heel and toe. But yeah. A few apexes were missed on that lap, but yeah, that car does need an improved sound because it's a nice car to drive. It's very. It has a lot of traction and it moves around quite a lot. yeah, I think I'm gonna go off as well, guys. So thank you very much everyone for watching. That was a fun stream, just casually. Hey, there's an update, so let's stream. Why not? Because I'm just gonna test a bunch of shit anyway. Probably back to VR next time. We're who the hell knows? I mean, this is just so much easier to casually stream like that. Although for you guys it's probably quite awkward as well, with my FOV being so small. But yeah. Let's pick it up from here next time. And at some point we also need to get back to actual racing. There's gonna be IES coming up, that LFM series. We're gonna do that probably with Valentin and Jardier. So that's gonna come at some point. I probably should do some qualifying, like pre-qualifying for that this week. This is gonna be this amazing braking zone that I completely missed. Whenever that championship starts, there's gonna be some grind that has to be done on ACC, because I haven't touched that game for a long time, so I need to get back on pace on that. But yeah, just AC was such a good driving experience right now. I haven't had so much. I haven't had such fun in a sim for a long time, just from driving shit, you know. Like, let's be honest here, guys. I mean, we only got an early access to a game that, you know, hey, we have few cars, few trucks, and you can drive them. That's it. Like, and we're all like creaming over it like it's some amazing stuff. Well, because it is amazing. That's such a good driving experience. And I mean, right now on Steam I have 32 hours in the game. I don't know if it's updated. I think maybe I need to close the game and then it's gonna update, so it's gonna be like 35 hours of the already in the game, because I just love it so much. So I've been driving and testing different stuff and just having fun and making some photos, even though the camera options for them are quite limited. But yeah, I mean, the prospect of this in the future is amazing. So let's see what the future is gonna bring us, and let's hope for more cars, more tracks to test. Fuji is gonna be a really nice track to drive. And that's the next track that's coming. That is the next track that is coming. And yeah, and it's time to end, and I keep on waffling. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Probably there's gonna be more of casual streams like that, because why not? See you there, and good night.